you sound like you've had quite a varied career, and then somehow you ended up in this going down the rabbit hole of Intel, and I can certainly relate to that. So, when about did you enter the fray? Via YouTube and all of that.
I started about 5 years ago, almost six now. And in the beginning, I was just posting videos from my interior design. I had makeover shows. I had two makeover shows, one on USA TV and one in Singapore. So I was a interior designer for a period of time, like 20 years. So built a name there. I used to live in Los Angeles and have done quite a few prestigious homes in the LA area. So yeah, I fell into it, and I wrote Singaporean Thoughts. I'm very conservative because my family is conservative. I'm a second generation Seventh-day Adventist, like Dr. Ben Carson. So a little pragmatic and very practical. Yeah.
Okay. But you didn't really explain how you got into the Intel business, so to speak.
Well, okay. So I was asked to do Fox Radio by my friend Dan C. I don't want to say his whole name. He's an attorney, and he was the host. And he said, would you do a show with Laura Loomer? And actually, Laura and I are really good friends. I love her. She's just as abrupt as I am. I don't know who's more abrasive, but we just got along. She's really real. I love her, and I'll always support her. And I learned a lot of things. So, yeah, that's when I started and fell into it. I started watching a lot of videos of certain people, and that are not even in the movement anymore. They kind of red-pilled me, and then they left, pretty much. Mm-hmm. What really caught my eye was the amount of CEOs that were stepping down. That got me started, basically.
Okay.
My dad was a CEO.
And approximately when was that? What year do you remember?
Probably 2000, around like 6 months before Trump ran, 2016, I would say.
Okay.
And then I went to his rally before he even picked Pence at a private little rally in at the Fox Theater in Atlanta, Georgia, and been doing it for a while. Also, I was on stage with Pence when he was in Dalton, Georgia. So I have a place in Tennessee that, I have a home there also.
Okay. So you were on stage with Trump under what circumstances? How did you get there?
I wasn't on stage with Trump. I went to his first rally in Atlanta. I was on stage with Pence. So
you were on stage with Pence.
They like to, yes. Obviously, they like to put people that are ethnic on stage so they don't look like they're racist, I assume.
I see. And are you a fan of Pence, or are you aware of his dark dealings?
I'm aware of his dark dealings. It was very interesting because, I shook his hand and he was very blank. And it was funny because I was holding the Pence-Trump sign. I was the only one, if you look at that video, holding the Pence-Trump sign upside down, which I didn't mean to do, but I was the only one that was holding it upside down. I was right behind him. So, yeah, that kind of set a tone for everything else, pretty much.
Very nice. Okay, so now you've been doing this for around 4 or 5 years, right? 5 years, or so. And a lot has gone on in the last 5 years, needless to say. Yeah. So you've been covering stories from the point of view of a kind of a broadcaster. I've seen a little bit of your work. You seem to be gathering the news, and then you also bring in intel that you've gotten from some of your sources, correct?
Correct. I have 5 sources. I have to do the news first, so it kind of throws them off. And then I get into the little birdie told me section where I give the intel that I have. I'm not born American. I came here when I was 15.